can't really talk about that, but audio. Yeah, audio. You got it. Paul Everine, thank you. Hey everybody, welcome to Massive Chalice, Teamstream number 31. I'm joined by Derek Brand.
Hello.
Concept artist, UI artist. Welcome back to Teamstream.
Thank you.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's going really well.
So this is one of the last things that you have to do on this project.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have you do something else at the studio because that's how concept art works. So yeah, let's just jump into this thing. I thought we could show some cool art first. This is our hook. That's what we call this. This will hook you.
Yeah, this gets reels you in.
You the viewer, this will reel you in. So we've been talking about we have like the normal cadence enemies that you fight throughout the first half of the game, and then at 150 years, the advanced ones start showing up. And right now, they're only advanced because they have a lot more HP and they do a lot more damage and
because
stuff.
the game tells you that.
They don't look any different, and that's definitely a problem. So first, we thought we would tackle the visuals and make sure that like they feel cooler and beefier and what have you. So this process, you took the kind of standard lineup that we had. This is actually just a dude in the middle. This is just a hunter.
That's an early dude.
It's a really early dude, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like pre-texture.
But he is that. I mean, that's the size, and it's really just the size reference more than anything else, right?
Yeah.
And then so this was like the 7 dudes, and this was kind of like the old layout that we had. That was just like, okay, here are the kind of like final, just like the final approved versions for all these guys before we went to like actually model them and stuff. And it's mostly just so you can have like the size and the shape and the color. I don't know what happened to this guy's color.
I think he was already like in the game or something like that. Yeah.
I feel like this one actually was the model. Like I guess these come from all different places. You can actually see the smudges and stuff where you like see my into the lineup.
My copy paste.
Also we need to point this out.
Yeah, nice.
This is a really awful. Just this line right here.
It's so sloppy.
This is just the worst. So you're fired. But so we start with those, and we're like, okay, like what would, maybe you haven't seen these enemies in a while, like they've kind of dropped out, and now the advanced ones are coming back, and like what would make them seem cooler and tougher? And I really like this. Like a lot of them, if you look at like the Twitcher here, and the Lapse here, and the Wrinkler here, and the almost all of them have this sort of like additional collar language, right? Just like beefing up the kind of top part of it. And it's like, I felt like that was a really good way to go. I think this was the first one that you did, and it was like, oh, that's really awesome.
Yeah, it totally
like,
worked.
It just works. So that will look really good in the game because it's like, you're always looking at stuff from the top down. And so to have like big, beefy ass, spiky collar things like coming off the dudes, you're like, that's gonna read really well. Yeah,
it's a tried and true video game tradition.
Just like
adding gigantic things on shoulders.
Just beefy, just World of Warcraft shoulder pads on all the guys, no problem. And then additional elements on them as well, like I guess like I really like this, like taking the kind of scythe on the Wrinkler and turning it into like this big sort of claw thing. Also, the other requirement that we were looking at was we wanted to make sure that all of these could be done using our existing accessories system, which is really just like it kind of bolts on rigid pieces. So I don't know how much people are interested in the like technical mumbo jumbo, but there's like rigidly bound pieces, which are just like, this is like a hard piece of armor or just like something that can't move, it can't animate, it's just attached to the character and then it moves around with it. Versus like a smoothly bound thing, which is just like, we'll animate with the skeleton and whatever. We wanted to make sure that all of the things could be simply like modeled as like a hard piece of geometry and bolted onto the existing character, and then it would just like, it would change the silhouette and change the way it looks and all this stuff. And then it's not like a ton of work on the art side.
Right.
It's actually like a manageable thing. We do actually support like skinned, smooth skinned accessories in our engine. It's just that it's more work to actually produce like if we wanted like a tentacle dong to be like sticking out of the dude's back and have it like waving around. The problem with that, like in our engine the way it is now, is that like we'd have to modify the skeleton of the character to put the dong joint coming out of the back, and then we'd have to go through like all of the animations for that character and modify those to like wiggle the dong properly during all of the animations for it. So it's like we really wanted to stay away from like smoothly bound, like floppy dong-like appendages. So a lot of them, ended up with like hard collars like this, and like this on the laps as well. And same with the wrinkler, like kind of like a hard, rigidly bound shoulder pad, and then like all of these like additional spikes. So you can see that like his actual base side is like still in there. It's just that the claw pieces kind of like cover it up, and it's just all smoke and mirrors. That's all we do is just lie to people all day. That's basically our job. I like this one with the rupture. This one felt like a little bit more creative than the other ones, just that it's like, it's like a more like a cauldron. Or whatever. And I don't know, this is the one where like, I don't know how if we're gonna be able to do this one exactly like that. But it's really cool. Like it looks, you think about how this guy looks from the top down, and then you see this one and it's like, oh cool, there's like multiple crystals and like this big kind of pot of stuff.
Pot of goo.
It just seems awesome. Also I like the color palette shifts that you did on all these, that they're just more intense. Almost across the board. This is interesting. Why did you do this one?
I went the other way.
To take the wrinkler and be like, well, because he's like a petrified thing, that like the advanced version is actually like
he's like even more
like desaturated and more petrified.
Because we already have like a really green guy on the far right. So if I went more green with him, it felt like it would be. I see.
That makes a lot of sense now, because if you had gone like a brighter, more saturated greens, that would like really conflict with like the advanced growth guys.
And there's already a lot of like green in the game, like a bright like mangrove and stuff. I was hoping that it would.
I really like this one too, like taking the seed and buffing him up with like this kind of weird lion mane thing.
He's got a mane now.
It's sort of weird that I don't know. I think it's cool, and it's these things are actually going to be bound to, like talking to Jeff about it, they're going to be bound to his little weird. I guess this is like a nice tentacle dong that's built into built into the characters. So these are all animated and stuff in the game, and he's thinking that he can take like build this thing out, but then bind these new dongs to the original dong joint, and then when that thing animates, the rest of the main will kind of animate
Get the
together.
Master dong and the
master
slave
dong, right? So these are like slave dongs that we're adding onto it. So when the master dong wiggles, the slave dongs wiggle as well. And then I like, speaking of dongs, we've got the cradle over here, and I feel like this was one of the early ones that you did, and I was like, oh yeah, nailed it. Like taking this thing, taking the ball and making it a more like spiky, sort of stretched weird thing is awesome. And then these knee spikes are really cool too. Again, something that will read very well from the top down. Like you see these big, like new kind of spiky appendages coming up, and it just feels like more brutal, more evil, and whatever.
Spiky things.
Just we're basically adding dongs and spiky things onto our guys and changing their colors, and then that will be the advanced things. We're talking about, I think we're going to get a thread going on this. I don't know how much of it will actually fit in the schedule, but we kind of want to see if there are simple things that we could add to the advanced enemies to make them feel a little bit tougher, outside of just like if we can alter their behavior in some way. Because right now they really are just like better versions of the first dudes that you fight. They're just like more HP, more armor, more damage, more evasion, more accuracy. It's just sort of like a straight kind of numbersy upgrade for all of them. And so we're looking at ways like, is there something that we can do, like a really simple code tweak or something, so that when the advanced enemy shows up, it's like, oh crap, it does something totally different, or just slightly different. It doesn't have to do something totally different. But one idea that we had is that we have that Avenger trait for the heroes that they can have. Like when one of your friends dies, you get like a big buff for the rest of the mission. And we're thinking about putting that on like the advanced cradle, so that if you kill one of its babies, it like gets enraged, it like gets really pissed at you, and it would like it would end up doing like a lot more damage. So it's you have to decide, like, do you want to kill the mother or kill the baby? That's basically what Master Chalice is about. You have to make those kinds of decisions.
Pretty brutal.
Do you want to talk about any of this stuff?
I think
feel like
we have the Bullwork.
Oh, right.
Like,
this is fairly like video game
oh, yeah.
shit, right? I mean,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
just like being a video game artist, like you have to do a bunch of stuff like this.
Yeah, put some spikes on it.
Put some spikes on it,
Yeah,
and it's really
and
just
some
like trying to
dongs
change the silhouette as much as possible. Like
Yeah.
when you look at the, this lapse versus this one, it's like, oh, you immediately know, based on the coloration and the like, this collary thing that you're like, oh, this one's tougher.
Mm-hmm.
This is
it's not
this
like
is
a complete
not
redesign.
like rocket science. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one tough one, the Bullwork, where I feel like a couple of the original stabs were just like, I don't know, man, it didn't make any sense. So
yeah,
this was the more advanced one.
His silhouette from the top is really complicated, so like just adding spikes is a little.
It was really tough, and I think this was
tough.
the one that you started with, and it was just, it just seemed like really kind of hard to read.
Yeah, it's just really messy
compared to the old one, and it was just additional bone things. That was the other thing that we were worried about with this guy, is that he gets his bone shell ability, he gets an additional layer of bones and spikes added onto him.
Yeah.
So it's like we need to make sure that it's like actually, you can tell them apart.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to go with this B1, which is just the toothed orifice, the dentata.
Well, adding it's weird because the other ones you're adding more chaos to the.
Yes.
But this one you have to add like a little bit of order to it.
Yeah.
To like bring it back.
Yeah, and it felt
different.
like it read really well. That it's like, okay, we just put these, they look a little scarier, a little meaner, just to have these like tooth rings around these orifi. Orifi or orifices? Orifice. Orifices. Something, whatever. But yeah, that like we just went more subtle with this guy, and also you can tell on the color. The base one is pretty green. And then the new one is actually like a lot darker.
I try to keep the families because we have like the families.
Yep.
So the same thing.
You have the same transition here that you have with the Wrinkler. You have that with the Bullwork as well. So they're like he's like a lot darker, and cool. I think that's it. Yeah, we're gonna start modeling these and we'll get them in the game, and that should be in there in the next patch.
That's awesome.
At least their visuals, and we'll see. Yeah, I'll totally start a thread, get it kicked off to see if there are any. Sort of like simple tweak ideas, and if you, the viewer, have anything that you would like to add, that would be super fantastic. I would love to hear your ideas, and maybe we can cherry pick a couple and drop them on there, and then we can see what people have. Do you have any questions from the audience? We got Justin Honegger over here on the wheels of steel, off camera, monitoring your chat.
No massive questions so far. Someone asked about advanced bulwarks, and you immediately went into it.
Sweet.
Hey. Advanced Bullworks, there you go. If you have any questions, though, feel free to spit them at Justin, but I think we're going to keep it moving unless anybody has an art question. What is the Twitch delay now?
30 seconds.
Are they seeing me 30 seconds into the future? 15 seconds?
Damn.
So I'm just going to drink this coffee, the end of my coffee.
Nice.
Slowly. Okay, so if there are no more questions, no more questions. All right. So hey, we'll release you, Derek. If you can grab Silvio,
see you guys.
We're gonna fire up the game.
I'll go get him.
And talk about it. Do you want to? Paul off camera just made a face.
Sorry,
do you want to? Are we still live? We're still streaming it. Sweet. Okay. I wasn't sure if we wanted to take a break or not. We're not gonna take a break. So this is where we should put the ad, right? This is where I sit here by myself and we put the ad. So hey, Grim Fandango is a video game that you can buy on Steam or your PS4 and your Vita, and you should buy it right now. It's old, but it's good. How about that? It's been remastered. It's been remastered by our masters. Check it out. That's one of Tim's best games. That was the last game that he did before founding Double Fine, right? And yeah, check it out. He found it. Yeah, it's right there in San Francisco the whole time. Cool. Hey, welcome to Teamstream, Silvio Terra. Silvio.
Hi.
Hey.
How do I set this up?
You just grab your shirt and just pinch it. Paul's gonna, yeah.
Cool.
Sweet. Silvio, a late addition to the Massive Chalice roster. So, yeah, we're we're gonna show some of the work that you've been doing. But
Cool.
you've only been working on the game a couple months, and it's kind of like, you know, people bounce around between projects here. We got a lot going on. Before this, you were working on Cosmic Quest 2.
Yep.
Ship that guy out, and then it was like, hey, you're not doing anything. Why don't you come help us do cool stuff and continue supporting Master Chalice and Early Access? It's awesome. So thanks for your help. Before this, you worked at EA.
Correct. I worked there for
Electronic
9 years,
Arts at 9 years. So you were at Tiburon the whole time?
Pretty much, yeah.
Tiburon. Tiburon is in Florida.
Orlando, yeah.
Orlando. And Madden. Were you on Madden time there?
Mostly. I was Madden from Madden.
Did you get to work on that crazy
Madden
Superman game?
No.
This is
Although
this is the interview portion of the Teamstream.
I
Sorry.
was there during that time.
You were, yeah, because I have a
But,
friend that
no.
worked on that game, and it sounded like
We both have. I mean,
pure insanity. Yeah. Oh no, one other guy too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we know Ben Burbank, who works here. You worked
Yep.
with him. That's how we ended up hiring you. Was like through
yeah.
Ben Burbank.
And he joined Madden a year after I was there. So.
Oh man, so you guys maddened it up.
Oh, yeah.
No, my buddy Matt Long. Did you know Matt Long?
No.
Yeah, he was a concept artist. Worked on that crazy Superman game, and I heard a lot of crazy stuff about that thing.
Yeah.
But hey, that game's not in early access right now. This one is.
Awesome.
So let's fire it up. And so we're going to be doing just like a quick patch preview of the stuff that's going to be in. This will be, we're calling this the Iron Timeline update. It is patch 0.93. That is 93% complete by my book. So a couple more patches, and then we're going to be 1.0.
I don't want to.
I'm going to load this thing up. So this is, man, talk about an oldie but a goodie. This is an old save game from one of our very first streamers that made it all the way to the end of the game, and then it crashed.
Yep.
I remember this was super great that he played all the way to the end. This is what his kingdom looked like, because I think it was maybe only his like second or third attempt at playing the game, and he had restarted a couple times.
2 years left.
3 years left. Yeah, this was like right
two.
at 2
Okay.
years left. Yeah, this is cool. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is that Silvio, you've been doing a lot of work on the timeline.
Yeah.
So this is what the timeline looks like now. And before, I don't know. I almost wish that I could pull it up.
You can zoom in, I guess, and it'll be a little bit like it used to
No, it
be.
won't, because before, you have all the overlapping events. It's like we just
Right.
had so many diamond
So
icons.
if
that
you
are
lost
like,
a battle, you had essentially six
you had
icons.
6 icons that are
on
stacked
each
up
other,
because
yeah.
5 guys died and you lost a battle, and you're
Right.
like, oh crap. So that was the first thing that we wanted to do, was make sure that like we had a cool solution for overlapping events. So that was one of the first things that you did to it, and that's when you hover over one of these. So you can see this sort of like double chevron under an event. That means it's a multi-event.
Yep.
And so like this is a normal one, and here's Gorna Blue Fox. Is that a G? Yeah.
Yep.
Gorna Blue Fox. Looking good there.
Gorna sounds like a woman's name.
I
for some
thought it was a
reason.
woman's name as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I guess also Blue Fox.
Blue Fox.
It feels like a very feminine name.
It does, doesn't it?
Anyway.
But then, so that's what a normal one looks like. But then this one is a multi-event. So it's like, hey, click to see 3 different events. So you click this, and now there's a birth inside here. Mandala, that's a girl's name. Mandala.
Well, it also says a baby,
I know, that's how I
baby
figured
girl.
that out. That's how I figured that out. And then here's Wendell Mooncolor died at the ripe age of 68.
Man,
That's a pretty good
He had
run.
some pretty cool family names also. Blue Fox.
And then I'm going to take a stab at that one. Iolani Blue
Iolani.
Fox came of age. So it was like, 3 things happened right around the same time. You can see this one happened in year, 2 of these happened in year 291, and one of them happened in year 292.
Yeah, the first 2 are 10 days apart.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Can we even? Okay, so
Yeah, we can.
So the next feature. So that's awesome. Oh, also, so it is a skull because we kind of prioritize all of these different things.
Right.
So deaths are higher importance than. I wish I had the full list with me, but deaths are more important than births or coming of age.
I do know the most important one is defeat.
Defeat,
battle defeat, then battle ignore, then battle victory.
Yep.
And then we
so
have
you
other
can
stuff
see
there based
this
on
right here,
building keeps and stuff like that.
the golden fist is a victory. So you can see that massive victory. And so when you open up the event, so you can see it's a fist right now, and there's 9 events in here. And when I open it up, it then goes Twitter order.
You can also you have to tell that this is an old save because it doesn't have like the hero death information. But
yeah,
that's
that's
because
crazy.
we had a bug. We fixed a bug. But
Yeah, because look,
but it's still
it's on this one.
right.
But not this one.
It was the manner of their death.
Oh, like if they died in a random event or something like that?
Depending on how they died in battle, there was a bug basically where the description would be empty. And when the description is empty, I just...
Yeah, that was because it's like, hey, that's all we got.
Anyway, that's, so all saves will have this bug.
So then these go in Twitter order where like this was year 286. So this is the most recent events at the top and the oldest event. So this is year 286, day 53, and this is year 286, day 321. So this basically... These are all the events that happened during that year, basically, is what we're looking at. And you can see all the, like, this is where you promoted a standard, like, there was an adoption. There's just all these, like, different things that happen. And this lets you actually, like, use this thing now. Rather than just being, like, a cool thing near the end of the game that has, like, 1 billion diamonds on it. It's, like, actually useful. So the other thing that we wanted to do was allow you to scroll it. So I can now left-click and drag and, like, scroll the timeline around. And this lets me, like, go all the way back if I want to. But then we were like, hey, that's going to suck because...
It takes you long.
Yeah, it takes a really long time.
You've only gone 7 years.
Yeah, so we decided to add zooming in and out. So right now I'm zooming out, zooming out, zooming out. And you can see it sort of like, it zooms out and then it kind of refreshes itself. Because what it's doing, right, is that it's figuring out the new grouping for all of the events and then it's crunching them into like new multi-events.
So if you do like just zoom out like a lot. Like
a lot.
But don't stop, and then there.
Right.
So then you can see like that nice.
And this was cool. This was actually something that that I really wanted from like when we were talking about this feature about like the clumping and the sorting and all this stuff. Is that when you zoom all the way out, I wanted to make sure that battles like wins, losses, skips, that they had the highest priority, so that when you zoom out, you're like, oh, you're actually just seeing like these are, you know. Gives you, maybe you realize why it's called the cadence, you know, because you see like, oh man, they're attacking like on a set cadence, right? Yeah, maybe.
Although you will notice, okay, zoom out a little bit, stop. Try to get to the zoom where you had like one event on the very end.
Yeah, it was like there was a death over there, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna show like, well, I was also gonna show like why it wasn't merging with the other event to the right. Because the other event to the right is actually...
Oh yeah! So that's another cool thing too, is that we have, so you see this diamond on the top. There's a diamond on the top, and then there's a diamond over, let me zoom all the way out and go over this way. Okay, so now you can see that this is actually like the entire timeline. This is the beginning, day one, year one, day one, right here. And this is kind of cool. You can see that that was the initial tutorial battle. This is the very first regent that I've appointed, and then I married that character.
Yes, Joe did, but yes.
Right, I didn't actually do that. This isn't my save game. And then back here, this is just the nebulous past. And we just put this in there where it was like, I don't know what this should be. We talked about like, before Chalice, this could be BC time. I don't know, but that seems a little bit weird. So we're not where you're just like...
PC was the pre-Chalice.
Pre-Chalice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just decided to, whatever, do that. You can also, so as you zoom in, you can also like, so yeah, you know, here we go. Oh, so this is a lot of them. We actually have, so 16. This is 16 events. And so there's a page down here. And you can see like all 16 of them and move between the pages and whatever. Hopefully this is like super useful and it can help you like kind of dissect your timeline and see what happened. And then now I'm zoomed in, I can't even see anything. Well, which is crazy.
Because right now you are 1 year gap?
Yeah, so like sometimes they're so close. These are day 58 and day 76.
20 days apart.
Am I actually getting... Yeah, okay, yeah. I can't actually zoom in to the
you
point
can zoom in up until the point where they will never clump. So I think that's 20 days right now. Actually, yeah, you can't zoom in more than that. Well, once you get to 20 days, you can just pan left and right, but you can't really zoom in because there's no point in zooming in.
And that, and that's like, and these will clump up relatively quickly as I zoom out. Yeah. And then continue to clump up with like other events and stuff. Sometimes things happen so close together though that they're just always going to be stuck, right?
A battle, like a defeat or multiple deaths in battle, they will always happen in the same day, the same turn, so you can't really.
And this is a great example as well, right here on the.
Yeah, that will never separate.
I'll never be able to separate this one out. You can actually see that I'm at the day level right here in year one. But all of these events happened on year one, day one, so you can never actually separate those.
But why didn't it clump up with the other one? Why didn't that last event clump up with the one to the right?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. That's cool. So those diamonds like represent the sort of like they're the extents of the timeline. So this is actually the present, this diamond here, and then this guy is actually the future. So this is telling me that like in year 301, day 165.
Not gonna happen.
We got a bug over here. Look at this one. This is
No,
a
no,
very
no,
old
no,
save.
no, 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 no.
Oh no, that's the extent, right?
Yeah,
right.
so we might need to put it a bit more clear, but that is
I see.
on the right.
I see. Yes.
So yeah, the present is whatever the present
Yep,
is.
and you can see that changing. Yeah, but this is when my upcoming event, when the research will actually
So
get completed.
I guess we didn't mention this, but I mean, this was way before we added the Chalice event on the timeline. But otherwise, we would see the Chalice event happening before this. That research will never finish.
Yeah, this research will never actually finish in this one. But that's cool. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, do you have any questions from the chat about this thing? I mean, I feel like it's a pretty straightforward feature, but it makes. Yeah, it makes the timeline like super useful for figuring out like
exploration and just going
happened.
back and looking at your history, so you can tell exactly what happened. You know, it's a little way of just checking your own history.
Yeah.
So the stalking head wants to know, is there a reset timeline button?
What do you mean by reset timeline?
Like to wipe the timeline out?
Oh, you can start a new game.
Or back to default zoom?
Oh, default zoom. Just when you hit play. Actually, I think
you can just go into a keep and come back
if you
out.
just go in somewhere.
Yeah. Although you've asked me to save the zoom.
Oh right, it does that. But when you hit play, is that where it does it?
No. I haven't put that in yet.
Oh right, maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should do that. We'll see how people like it right now. Right. If I'm
zoom all the way out or all the way in and then hit play. And that should put you at a reasonable.
Yeah.
So we do have like a clamp timeline. It's like, well, you can't really, if you zoom out any more than this and you hit play, you barely see the things move. So you might as well make it.
Yeah, we zoom in.
Yeah, zoom in a little bit. And if you zoom in too hard, then you just see everything just flash in less than a frame. So we zoom you out, that kind of thing. So right now the way to reset your zoom is go into a keep and then come right back out.
Oh.
Nope.
We don't want to show that.
Nope.
Spoilers. No. Spoilers.
Escape?
How do I get out of this?
Escape?
How do I get out of this? I'm going to get out of it.
Escape. Then load? Maybe? Load a different game?
Sure, we'll load this one back. I like that this one's called Thanks, Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Any other questions about timeline stuff?
Smiles asked if you're going to move similar functionality into the family tree.
Oh, the problem with the tree is that it's not, is that it branches, right? It's not like linear. And so a lot of this tech would not transfer over to like a tree kind of structure. It's sort of custom for this linear timeline. It's a cool idea though. I mean, that's one of the things that we'd really like to add. I don't know if we're going to be able to put it in there. I mean, at least you can crawl the family trees right now with the from their info page. This is Dainty Moon Color.
Oh yeah,
you can like, you know,
the Regent stuff. Like I just noticed, like, you clicked on an empty keep. The Regent stuff.
Oh yeah, that's in this as well, right?
Yeah, we forgot about that.
Yeah, well, this is great that we have an empty one because we can totally do this.
So yeah.
So this is awesome. So Silvio was like really wanted to have this happen. So and we've had this feedback a couple of times from people on the forums and stuff, is that it's like confirming a regent kind of sucks because you might confirm them first and then you'll be like, oh, there's no suitable partners for them.
Yeah, or the addresses are just crappy or just not what you expected them to be.
So this confirm right here for a new regent has been changed to a preview. So you preview that regent, and then you have this. This is the partner selection.
Yeah, you can still pick no partner.
You can say like, I don't want to have a partner for this person. Or you can be like, yeah, let's do this, and I can, you know, compare their stats, and we can sort of like check it out.
Let's pick someone else. Like that, I don't like her. Let's go for someone else, like a different regent.
So we can just cancel this,
and then pick someone else.
Removes them from the chair, and now I'm not like locked into that regent selection.
Yeah.
You know, I'm also realizing that, yeah, a lot of these, these are just really beefy.
Yep.
When you have all these buffs near the end of the game. That's interesting. This is
a good save. We should use this. We should use this save for more testing.
The thing that I realized is that all of these status things, we kind of changed the tech tree, so it's really hard now to research a lot of these things even near the end of the game. And that this is like an earlier save where you could like unlock the whole tech tree and all this stuff. So this is like pretty abnormal, but I feel like it should handle it. And it does feel really bad that like you open this guy up and like his sigil just like leaves the screen.
Yep.
So hopefully we can address that one. But yeah, let's, we can totally put Gorna. Hey, that was that guy we were looking at earlier.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, and you can totally like
He does
line
not
this
look
up.
22. My God.
It's a rough.
I know.
It's a rough world. But then you click the confirm, and now this is like, are you sure that you want to do this? Like, this is going to be your final choice. You hit OK, and now it's like confirmed your region and your partner. And you're
Right.
like, cool, cool.
And at this point, you're stuck. Just like before, you can't change your regent anymore.
Right.
But at least you were able to preview the regent and your partner, so you just check out different combinations, see what works, what doesn't work. So.
This is the legacy of this keep. It's really long.
Okay, so we were looking at the info. We can just look at all those guys' info, to answer the question about the lineage.
Yeah, we can check out
Info.
Wayne. So we can see like if we just follow so it's like Anna, and then we can follow.
Oh yeah, we gotta change that.
Which one?
Look at the tiny info.
It's very tiny, isn't it?
Yeah. No, that's gotta be
But yeah, we can crawl this all the way up and kind of see like the legacy of Blue Foxes. Yeah, and I mean, this is not, it's not the sexiest view. And then this is Twista Blue Fox, level 2, like probably started the game because there are no partners here. So it's like, that's how you know that's.
That'd be cool to know though, like when they were born.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
We say when they die, like,
yeah, but
only what year they die.
Yeah, but especially like this screen seems like a pretty good place for us to just put like when they were born.
Yeah.
That way we can.
Or even just knowing what year they died,
Just like have like a year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Rip.
That's a really good rip. Yeah, rip, Twista. Okay, cool. I think that there's a bunch of other stuff that we're gonna go through with Chad. So hey, thanks for stopping by, Silio.
Iron mode, you'll be.
Yeah.
with
We're gonna start a new one with Chad and talk about that.
All right. Let's see how fast.
Okay, so we're gonna grab lead programmer Chad Dawson and talk about some of this other stuff. So we've got the iron mode is in this patch as well. So that's where you only have a single save file, and every time you make an action, it overwrites your save file. So you won't actually be able to scum save your way through the game. Like, you'll actually have to live with any mistakes that you make. And mostly it's just like meant to be a challenging mode, but there are some players that like can't really help themselves from scum saving. So it's sort of like a nice, it's like a nice, it's a nice way to sort of self-police yourself into like not just, it's not really cheating. I don't think that scum saving is cheating, but I think the game is more interesting when you like kind of mess up and then you try to like live with your mistakes. We've also got the difficulty modes in here. So we're calling the current state of the game that you guys have been playing, we're just calling that normal. And I know it's pretty hard. I think it's pretty hard, but I think that the game is just like a lot more rewarding when you play it and you have to kind of like earn your victories and stuff. So we've added an easy mode that will tune everything down, and then we've added this hard mode that will like tune everything up. And then we also, the other one is enabling the tutorial. So we have this checkbox here. You can like take it out. So most of the things that that you get, it's mostly on the strategy layer. The things that are already in the game, those will actually be turned off. So telling you to actually like install your regent and do your first marriage and all that stuff, that will go away if you uncheck this box. And then the stuff that we're about to show you will go away as well if you remove that. But I'm going to turn it on now, and we're going to start a hard iron mode run. Oh, and Silvio just pressed the button. So that's the other thing, is that the patch is live right now. So you can just go play it. We're actually done with this thing, and it's all like up on Steam, and this is in the debug branch, but we just flipped the switch, so that'll propagate through the tubes.
After the Teamstream.
After the Teamstream. Yeah, don't go play it right now. You should hang out with us.
So what are you picking here, Brad? Iron mode?
We're going iron mode with
hard?
the tutorial on, with hard. So we'll see how hard it is. And then, do we have any suggestions, Anybody whose house in the chat, let me know, and we'll fill it up.
Oh, that's right. $5 tip jar. We got to put it.
Right, yeah. if
Like
you'd
all the other
to-
team streamers I see. I kind of like that Lupetta one, even though it's a wolf. Even though
no wolves. That's
Alright.
number one. No wolves.
all right.
I like this one. What do you think about this one?
Oh, cool. Looks like a
Sweet.
little alchemy
Yeah.
thing.
Don't forget
Glasses.
the medicine, man.
Half full, half empty.
And praise the healers. We don't really have healers in Master Chalice.
Everybody's a hero.
Everybody's a healer, yeah. So we got to get a bunch of potions for them.
Maybe the
House
seeds.
Silk and House Davis has to be represented.
Silken?
Silk and Davis.
House-
Two different.
House Silk.
Is that it?
It is. Is that a wolf technically?
That's like a wolf.
We're going with it.
Could be a fox.
Okay, and then Davis. There's probably several Davises.
Well, that-
There's only one.
Summer jams.
Oh wait, this is the Ryan Davis jokey one. We should really move this into the non-thematically appropriate.
I think we should.
I made this
Baller
one for-
time. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on, let's go back. Just to make sure, I'm gonna put all the bloodlines on. Okay, so sorry about that. There was.
Ooh, I like that one with the noose. I gotta say, even though I play this hundreds of times a day, every time I play, I see new bloodlines.
I know, isn't it crazy?
And like, I always pick out ones I think are cool, and I'm almost always seeing one that's like, I haven't seen but still cool. So, good job, backers.
What was that
on
one? It started
Bloodlines.
with an L? That
Palalo
cool
or
one?
something
I had
like
never
that?
seen that one before.
With a noose? I don't know where it went.
There it is.
Oh yeah, that was cool. What else we got?
Don't forget the
Two
medicine.
more.
Yeah.
Windward and Findhall.
Windward?
Winward.
All right.
Windward! Oh, sweet. Okay, sweet. And then what's the last one?
Findhall.
Oh, this is so awesome that I can use this. Also, Silio did this. This was one of the first things that he did on the project when
That's
he
right.
joined us, was to handle this. So that's a bummer
And
that
as you can see, it's a pretty complex UI.
it
as far as I
is,
go.
and it's super functional. It's awesome. Okay,
There's
sweet.
little secrets in that search thing. You can type in things like wolf or fox or fire.
Yeah,
or
and it
eagle,
will actually
and
like
we'll find those. Yeah,
find
colors
those
I
things.
think work too.
So we're gonna skip the opening cutscene because you've probably seen that.
Have you seen your heroes yet?
Great.
I've heard that line of dialogue so many times. It's kind of absurd.
Around this time in the project, it always gets to where you've heard it so much that like we have every line memorized, so it's hard not to use them in conversation.
So here,
This is
this
new.
is like the new tutorial part. So I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We just want to make sure that you know how to like move the camera around, cool, and then that you know how to rotate the camera. So we just have you do that a little bit, cool.
I've been surprised. Some of the people we've had test didn't know you could rotate the camera. They're kind of used to an isometric view game. Some don't
Yeah,
even let
yeah.
you spin the camera.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
then,
nice. You can
hit
see around
home
trees
to-
and walls. And
to recenter the camera, so like that's cool to know. And now here with your movement, we just have you like left click and then confirm your first movement. Awesome.
Jeremy Mitchell did some new icons for us for the
Oh
mouse
yeah,
and buttons.
yeah. All of these are in there as well. Oh, and that's a nice thing too. If on the options screen, we have some key bindings, and you can
What?
go
Look at
through.
this.
Oh, this tab is still effed up.
It looks good to me. Yeah, I see it.
What? No,
Nice.
it's-
You can read it. Oh, you think it's an old key?
I think it's the
yeah,
old key.
art.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take a look
yeah,
at that.
yeah. But yeah, this is just nice that, you know, it's kind of nice to be like a real PC game and have actual, you know, rebindable keys and stuff. So yeah, we remind you that like right-clicking, you want to be able to right-click your dudes. And then we've got like a nice little action point
Explaining
kind of
action points,
tutorial,
right.
just describing like how the hell action points work, how our movement boundaries work, that like moving within the colored boundary is 1 AP move, and then moving within the dotted boundary is a 2 AP move. So you can just quickly continue through that stuff.
Yeah, it was nice to see. We had some playtesters come in this week. Some,
Yeah, it was cool to have people
Double
who
Fine
had
employees
never
who hadn't played it and
Yep.
check it out. It was nice to see them kind of reading these for the first time.
Mhm.
It's hard for us to find people who haven't seen the game before now locally, so
Yeah.
it's always good to see someone play for the first time and be totally confused at something, and then see a tutorial and be like, oh, got it now.
We had the only code in there. think it was for the PAX build.
Here you have
I don't know if you remember that.
attacking close range is
Where I
good,
set it up so
attacking
that
from afar where one
Ryan
can
Davis
think
would
and
always
plan
be
is
an
better.
alchemist.
Was he still?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's a 1 in 3 chance,
Well,
right?
he's an alchemist now. Is that
He's
him?
an alchemist
Yeah.
now, yeah. So we should look and see if that code is still in there that I wrote. Because it was
Special
pretty
Easter
jank.
eggs.
I just wanted, you know, I mean, giant bomb.
Oh, right.
Throwing
yeah.
giant bombs. I was like, we gotta do that, right? I'm trying to play this like a total noob right now. Although I put it on hard, so I probably shouldn't do that.
Right. A few other features you'll
Oh,
see
no.
here pretty soon.
First catch of the day.
Can't tell you.
But we'll let you finish the tutorial bit here.
Much is known.
Oh, so this is a new one. Hey,
First sighted centuries ago.
you can see
Cares only for
when
the
you're
slow
highlighting a
annihilation
dude.
of its corruption.
That's where pawns like you
See
see
if I have
here
another
come
guy
in.
who's actually
Think
can
of
get in
them as
range. I think he's the
dogs
only
that
guy that
Cadence
can actually get in
creates
range.
to split.
Oh no, you know what? It's very, very noticeable with the alchemist. So the hit percentage is green when it's above 75. It's yellow when it's between 75 and 50, and then it's red when it's like below 50. And that, like, I feel like just, you know, it was just another
Like quick
like
glance,
way
you can
to
kind of say, do I got it? Or
quick
am I
glance,
taking a
yeah,
risk?
like do I got it or not? And I think that that's
This
super
is a
awesome.
caber jack. They hit things with a caber. Sometimes they
Um,
hit hard and put things down. Other times
I'm clearly
they hit
gonna
not so hard and
try to
just
play
knock
a
things
little
out.
bit more professionally here.
Simplest way of life
Oh,
it
nice
is.
knockback combo. Right?
Foul purveyors of
I played this
violence.
game a couple of times. We have some, so this is just telling you about like accuracy, hit
We
percentage.
should make that one yellow now.
We should totally make
Yeah.
that one yellow, shouldn't we? Yeah, that feature came in after we did this. But yeah, and that your range attacks can miss, and that your melee attacks won't miss, but they can do glancing blows. Oh man,
This is hard.
this is hard. So all the enemies have more HP, they do more damage, they have higher evasion.
Your heroes
Those were the
appear to
3
forget
core
some
things
of
that we
their
changed
Right.
for the enemies.
Mine
And
is
it's
just as
interesting that
vulnerable.
balance level because their hit points and damage are really kind of on a knife edge. It's set up for normal play where you could probably hit them within 1 or 2 hits, but now just 1 or 2 hit points higher, and it means you can get them down to 1 so often.
And you can even see that, like, the hunter, you know,
Oh,
this
you can
hunter
show
has a
off the
38%
arrow icon.
chance. What is wrong with this guy?
Pessimistic.
Oh, he's a pessimist. Okay, so that's not actually.
You can show the arrow icon bit.
Oh yeah, that's another
sort of
one
a
that.
requested feature that we've been
Yep.
finally got in.
So
Brad's
there
been
was.
asking for it since November. So
I really have. For normal hunters that are using normal bows, there's really no change. But the change is basically like you can see the arrow icon below the eyeball for the enemies. And that's just saying, like, if you're to move to the square, can you see the dude and can you shoot the dude?
Right.
Sometimes those things will break. If you have a hero with
Nearsighted.
nearsighted or
Yeah.
farsighted,
Or
that will
drunk.
actually
Drunk will do it
or
too.
drunk. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are a lot of things. There's a blind debuff. There's a lot of things that can modify your sight range, and then that will ostrich vision. There's
Right.
lots of things that will
Or
modify that
the
stuff.
shotgun crossbow.
Yeah, the
Okay,
shotgun
so
crossbow was one of the first times that we noticed this as
You
a
can
problem.
see further than you can shoot. In
Yep.
that case.
Yep. And so what would happen is, before, like on this lap, say, you'd be like, I want to move here. Well, the eyeball's over him, so cool. I would move there, and then I'd be like, oh, I can't shoot him. Why not? You know. In this, it's like you'll only see the eyeball. Like if you had that that blunderbow equipped, you'd only see the eyeball. You wouldn't see the arrow. And then you move a little bit closer. Now you'll see the eyeball and the arrow, and you're like, cool. I have to come up to here in order to actually shoot the guy.
Switch over to your alchemist. He's got a little bit of change too. We
Yes.
updated the icon to look a little bit more like our grenade toss.
Yep. It's like the little bomb throw thing.
And
It
that one you
matches
can
this.
actually show. There's some where you can
They
grenade but
make
not
up
see
for
him.
it with their nasty
Kind of the one
exploding
behind the wall,
flasks.
like where he is right now.
Yep, right now. Like if I were to move
Yeah.
here, I can't see those guys, but I can throw a bomb onto them.
Keep
And
your
then
heroes
here,
back.
I can
Trust
see them
us,
and throw a
you
bomb
don't
on
wanna
them.
be on the
And for the
receiving
grenade,
end
it
of
means you
one
can
of
drop
their
the bomb on their
concoctions.
tile. You still might be able to drop the bomb 1 or 2 away and miss or get lucky or something to hit them,
One
but
down,
it's really
hold
saying, can you hit
millions
their
to go.
tile?
Yeah, see, like this is a great example. Like this would be a simple kill on normal mode, but like, you know, the extra beef, I don't know if this is actually gonna get it. It did not.
Down to 2, right?
Down to
That's what I
2.
was saying. It's like kind of on that edge.
Yeah, and then I guess we just want this dude. Is this dude a
Finish him off.
Oh, tranquil, man, nice. Okay. I get, well, I think I'm going to have this guy finish him off.
You might push your favorite
Oh, it
jack
is?
back to
No,
safety.
is it? Okay.
Back to safety.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe
but he
that's
stunned the
okay.
other one. Yeah.
Oh, it did stun. Oh, it stunned my
Worse.
hunter that I had
At
moved
least
up,
they
who is
belong
stealth.
to heroic blood.
So I think I just have to move this guy in.
Normal humans cannot survive even
Take
a
the
single
blow.
attack.
Yeah, just because I don't want this guy to shoot. This is a level 1 hunter that's stunned over here, and he will get worked.
Through them, they have a fighting chance.
Okay, that's fine. I was
It's
pretty,
fun playing
I was
this
pretty
hard.
lucky.
I haven't finished it on hard yet, but I'm
Oh,
getting,
see,
I'm getting close.
six
Yeah.
from the seed is not, that is not cool. Let's see.
I think most people watching the stream are probably some of our more experienced players.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna have fun with it on hard, I hope.
I'm gonna see if I can get. All right. I'm gonna get this game check the hell out of the way, so that I can throw that bomb
moving. I like this
without.
saga.
Oh, and hey, and then we have a thing that's like, hey, here are some hero skills. Maybe you
Right.
should use them. This is a problem though. Like we know that even in our playtests, like people
Some
are
people
just
don't
not,
find the buttons.
They're
yeah.
not, you know, they sort of, we're throwing a lot of information at them, and they're like, we kind of pop this one up after, it's after you've gotten a few kills. Is that how it's set up right now?
Right, or your third turn or something like that.
Yeah. And some people are just not finding it.
We're
and-
trying to pace them out over the tutorial, but it's a lot of info to pack in. You know, hopefully people have played this kind of game a little bit before, and it's familiar. But you know, we want people who've never played a tactical strategy game to at least be able to figure out the basics.
Oh, wow, that came dangerously close to killing the
Yeah.
Paper Jack. Did you see that?
Praise the healer.
Praise the healers.
You're gonna need them.
Okay, so this is 5. So this is like, yeah, I shouldn't take that shot. I should just try to clean this guy up. All right, nice.
I get way too excited about this.
Okay, that's probably fine.
You gonna make it out of this? We're not losing
It's
anyone.
gonna be
It's
close, man. Yeah, I think that this guy can just lob this one. Oh God, 92.
Give it a shot. Come on.
You think I'm gonna move this guy back first?
I can just see him.
Yeah.
High in that.
All right. Oh, see, but that's like, you know, that would have been a kill on normal, right?
Right.
We'll have Ryan Davis followed up with the double kill. What do you think?
He's gonna miss. Oh,
Send them back to that sludge from whence they came.
It's baller time. It's baller time, Chad.
nice. So one other difference is the experience levels are higher now on hard.
Yeah, that like only that one dude leveled up. Everybody else is level 1.
I think it's like
that
400
is,
on
that is
normal.
rough.
Is that right? 400 or 500 XP?
Yes,
For level 1
it
to
is.
2? Yeah.
I believe that it's 400. And
Right.
yeah, we raised them quite a bit so that you're really going to have to exploit crucibles and high-level characters in order to like stay ahead of the leveling curve.
Right. So this is our nation.
And if you're
Now
looking at
let's
the
check
map
out
here,
that keep
you'll
you
notice a
just
few things
saved.
too. You're missing a region.
It's gone, yeah. So that's 1, 2. So on hard, we start you out with 5 corruption strikes on the outer regions, right? So
Right.
we've lost the outer Black Sands, gone. The Cinderlands, gone. And then we got a strike here and a strike here. So that's just like some stuff that you'll have to deal with.
Sometimes you'll get 5 different regions with 1 strike. Sometimes one with 3.
Bloodline forges of the nation.
Oh, this is. I think that there's another awesome thing on this.
I'll thank them later.
Here,
check out Black
one
Braid.
hero as
I like it.
This is awesome.
One is a part.
But this was something
More
that
experience they have,
that got brought up a lot. Is that people were like, I feel like I have a
Traits and
lot of
personalities, too.
infertile
Everything's
characters.
good.
You got
Keep in
none.
mind-
Lucky.
I don't have any,
Assigning
but
heroes
part of
to
that
use
is that I have a lot of low fertility characters.
Right. I'm curious to see how this works out because if someone was infertile, pretty much you wouldn't put him in the chair at all.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
But now you might put it low fertility in.
Yeah.
But that might mean overall you actually get fewer people.
Yeah.
Yes, you pick it, but
So the actual change is that before we had, so all of our traits are like dual traits.
Right.
So we had
Not all, but most.
right, most of them,
Yeah.
the ones that make sense, and we had fertility. So we had bountiful,
Right.
and that's high fertility. So like this character for sure is bountiful, cool, and we know that that's like really powerful.
Silio says sort by fertility.
Oh, I can sort it by fertility. Absolutely, I can.
Yeah.
So you can see that these are the characters that have the bountiful trait up here, and then you have a bunch of average fertility and then a bunch of low fertility. So the problem before is that the way that we had it set up, the opposite of bountiful was actually infertile.
Right.
So
all
it's
those
like-
would be infertile.
So all of these would have been infertile in that. So now we still have infertility, but it's its own kind of rare trait.
1 in 16 chance.
1 in 16 to have that.
Actually works out a little bit less because we call your starting traits at
Correct.
3.
Right.
So I'd say 1 in 20.
But this low fertility is the opposite of bountiful. So yeah, and I guess the other thing that's weird about the dual traits is that if you have one of them, like let's say you have low fertility, there's a very, very low chance that your children will have the opposite, right?
Right.
They might be normal, they might have low fertility, but they probably won't be bountiful.
Right.
And that's just kind of, and that feels good, you know. I feel like that feels correct as you go through the game. It does mean that you have more people. You just won't feel like you get screwed as much, I guess. You know?
Right. You can still do it if you really like a character who's low fertility, but it's going to be a little more challenging. I put 2 low fertility people in their late teens together and ran them through their full life, and it was about 3 to 4 kids.
Yeah. Okay.
So low fertility can still do okay, but 3 to 4 kids, you're not necessarily guaranteed to get a good one out of that. So
we're gonna.
2 bountiful people, what do they get, like 15 to 20 kids sometimes? But
Sometimes they do. Yeah.
so that's sort of the
crazy.
spread from the low fertility to the.
We want to establish Fort Summer Jams, though.
Seen
You
it
do.
happen.
Mr. Davis.
Personality,
Yeah, of course we
traits,
do.
experience,
Always.
they're all
Silvio showed off his new
Just
flow
because
for
this
here,
is
right?
a
Where
Yep.
regulative necessity
Yep.
you can change your mind on
doesn't
who the
reduce
region
these
is
Yep.
until you exit the keep,
Yep.
Deserve
and you're
better
kind of
than
locked
that.
in. Before there would be problems where you'd put a region in, and maybe it's the only female on the team, and then there's no males. That's good to know before you do it. So this lets you kind of experiment. Maybe you really wanted a caberjack, hunter pair, but there's no hunters that match up. So
Oh, we also changed these. So we swapped these icons out to make more sense.
Now then, please join us back at the capital.
Which
yeah,
is cool.
across the board,
And
like Sylvia and I have been starting to hit a bunch of the little niggly things that are just kind of flow issues, where like the screen flickers a little bit too much here, or the icon's off, or there's always been this pixel border on something. It's nice to be able to hit some of those and just kind of clean up.
Also,
the
this
site.
came directly out of our playtests, and this
That's
will
right.
annoy everyone who is watching this probably.
just the first time or two.
Just
you
the
get
first
it.
time
Yeah.
is that we put research as the top item here because this is way more important than actually being able to see your retinue, right? And with we had like 2 playtesters go through the tutorial, and both of them actually came in here. They clicked heroes, which used to be on the top.
Right.
They messed around with their heroes, whatever. They looked at them. Then they just left, and it was really disheartening because we really want you to like click the research tab, get the rest of the tutorial, like get the dialogue, like look at some stuff in here, and then like build a new keep. Oh, that's the other thing. Research takes longer on hard as well. So this keep is going to take 8 years instead of 6.
Amount of time required dissuades you
And so we're still looking at the numbers. We're gonna spend some time like running the numbers and making sure that like these changes aren't too hard. But we also like, we just want to throw it out there. And it's like some people have gotten very, very good at the game, and we kind of want to see like, how hard did we make it? Like, did we make it too hard? Do we need to have a 4th difficulty level, like an impossible? I don't know.
Maybe so.
We could add one, like whatever. Like so yeah. Let us know like if you can post some.
And
kind
same
of
thing on the other end of the spectrum.
victories.
There's been many people who try it who say it's just too hard for them. And we kind of wanted it to be a hard game. But we want everyone to have fun. So that's what the easy difficulty is set for now. But maybe it's not easy enough. Like, I want to get some people trying who haven't played it to see, can they beat it on easy?
And we showed off the Silvio's timeline a lot.
But we'll also stop it for you should something require your attention.
Like a cadence attack.
That is a probable possibility.
Babies. I think on that one, that was another thing that we learned from watching people play, is that you click OK on the babies dialogue there, the dialogue box, and
glorious
you probably
every
want it
time
to
you
pop
took
you
off.
into the actual baby.
What? Unbearable
So you can see
shrieking
it.
and
Yeah, if only
smells
we
that
had
are
the
even
baby
worse?
models or something.
Yeah, if only we had baby models, right?
Yes.
This is Dia Denab. We got some crazy names in this video game submitted by you, the backers.
Before,
Thank you.
We're making choices on the battlefield.
Okay, so
Now,
what do
Oh,
you
this is
think
an
about
awesome
this?
one to get this
making
early.
choices on
It
the
is, isn't it?
battlefield of
Yeah,
life.
I think this is my favorite event. Our first one.
I will not
that we ever
apologize
did.
if I'm passionate.
Yeah, this is the
You
first
know
one that
when
we
you guide
did,
the
isn't
heroes
it?
in battle, well, sometimes
Julie
the
Silk.
people, your
This is
heroes
Peter-
included,
Peter
will
Silk.
want your advice on
I have
matters
never
that they
picked.
decide
I've never picked
themselves.
choice 2.
We're putting their
You don't?
choices in your
I never have.
hands.
Can it
We're
work out
doing it.
good?
We
Is it-
can.
And the decisions
Yeah.
you make
If you
may
respect the
affect
wishes,
the
can
we
morale of
fine?
the nation.
Unfortunately, we've
We're-
learned that the
I-
cadence feeds off
We
greed,
can
power, and
sacrifice a
terror.
character, right?
If
All right,
something
all right, all right.
tragic
All right.
happens, corruption can spread very quickly.
But the
So you'll
opposite
see
is
on the
true, too.
timeline now if you go into the
Trust your
future.
decisions. Whatever they end up
Whoa, there's where she comes back, right? So that kind of reflects the thing on the right, but it's kind of what Silvio and you were talking about earlier, where it's as you drag around, you can kind
And
of
you
see
can
what's
see my
coming up.
research is like, my keep is just about built.
Right.
Oh, 3 days before the keep.
You have no doubt surmised how it takes time.
all
See,
right.
so that right there is just a beating.
So they're only able to
No, it's
attack.
all right. 'cause
On hard mode.
Now this.
Ooh, I see
Fortunately,
a bug.
you
Do you
cannot
see a bug?
fight back multiple
Right
incursions
here.
at the
Oh,
same
you think we
time.
want to hide that, huh?
Primary
Yeah.
focus,
Silvio's
charging
watching.
up
He'll
to
probably have it
destroy
fixed
our
before
Also, yeah.
we get
I-
back to our
I
death.
think that we probably want the year